Hey everyone, it's Lisa. Welcome to another T&T Thursdays. In this video, we are going to discuss using the aqua painters with the Stampin' markers. To begin with, there are several things you can use to lay down your color. Of course, you can lay your color directly to the paper and then use your aqua painter to blend the color out. I've seen some people use their acrylic blocks. You could use the packaging from your stamp. You could use the smooth side of your Stampin' or the acrylic or the acetate, should I say, from any packaging. So I have my own little marker palette thing here. If you can see that, it's just a cutout square from some packaging, and so that's what I will use to lay down my color. As you can see here, I've already stamped some images ahead of time using the Pleasant Poppies stamp set and Papillon Potpourri. I want to be showing a finished project in this video. I will show it on my blog at www. I hope I didn't say too many W's, lmdstampin.stampinup.net. And if you go to my webpage and just click on blog, you will see the finished project and the items that I used for that project. Either later today or hopefully no later than this weekend. I'm hoping today because tomorrow I won't be home to do that. So, the first thing I want to show you is just give you a few little different tips of things that I've discovered along the way and am still discovering. You want to have a paper towel close by. For one, you can wipe your brushes on it, or you'll just see me wiping it on my paper. And also you can use this to blot away color. That is the wonderful thing about using the aqua painter with the Stampin' marker. Unlike when you use the marker directly to paper, if you put too much color down, you can't get rid of it. But with the aqua painters, you can. And our aqua painters come two in a package with two different tips, a really fine tip and a larger tip. And then you fill the reservoir with water. So that's pretty cool. You don't need a cup by you that you can accidentally spill, or you don't have to keep dumping, or not dumping, you don't have to keep putting your brush into the water to clean it off, and you can just clean it just by squeezing and wiping off on paper. So that's a really cool thing. So those are two things you definitely want to have close by. I'm not sure why this is here. And then you want to use Stays On ink. Stays On is wonderful for this technique. And then watercolor paper. So before I get to my images, I just wanted to show you, I think I'll use this one. I'll show you in a moment where I used, now that looks really dark, right? Where I used this technique to make a background for my image. And that looks really dark. And this is a beautiful color. This is our, these are all our newest ink colors. And this is Midnight Muse. And so I'm going to take the larger brush because I have a large area that I want to color in. And I'm just going to spread that color around. Now maybe I want it this dark, or maybe I want it lighter. And so I'm just going to keep moving the color around. Maybe I have just too much color down, period. So this is where I'm going to take my paper towel and I'm going to blot that up, some of that color off of there. And you're thinking, that looks crazy. But I'm just going to go back over it and blend out some more. So that's one of the cool things that I like about using the aqua painters. I said in my last video that I felt like this was more forgiving. Well, of course it is. You know, one, you don't have to be very precise. But mainly I wanted to show you how you can lighten your color by just blotting some of that color out. And you can also use this technique to make yourself a background. And I'm going to show you that's what I did here using these markers. I just layered down some marker and blended it out with my pen, and I wanted them to overlap, and then I just stamped my image on top of that. Okay, so using the flowers, I'm going to use the technique where I'm going to put my inks down on my little acetate here. This is going to be my palette. So I'm going to put down my raspberry ripple. Oops, not that side. I want the brush side. Mainly, you know, whatever you use for putting your color down, it's just, you just want something that wipes off easily. Don't know that I will be using the Midnight Muse. And this is Primrose. This is Gumball Green. And this is our Summer Starfruit. So, I'm going to, actually I want my fine brush for this. Make sure this is, now you see there's some color still on here. So I want to get that color out. And I'm just going to squeeze some water on there and wipe until there's no more color coming off of that. And you can see I've pretty much gotten the color off of that. So it's not going to end up somewhere where I don't want it. So I'm going to take the fine brush, because I should have a little more control to color. And I think I'm going to pick up some of this raspberry ripple, because it's a darker color of my two pinkish colors, my pink colors. I won't say pinkish. I was going to say pinkish reddish. And I just want to go in areas that would be the dark areas. And then I'm just going to start blending that color in. Letting it get lighter. And so there you see I have two shades of the same color, and I'm going to zoom in just a bit. And then I'm going to wipe this off just a little, because I feel like there's a lot of water on that brush, and I want to pick up that color again because I want this area to be darker. I'm just using a light touch. Again, the cool thing is that even if I accidentally put too much color down, I can just get my paper towel and blot that out. And then I want it darker here. So I'm going to pick up some more color, get a little dark there. And then hopefully you can see the different shades in this flower. Okay, so I'm going to wipe that off till I have no color again, and I went to stick a little bit of this summer star fruit down in there. There's that way of putting it on some type of slippery surface and using that as your palette. The next method I'm going to do is putting the marker directly onto my watercolor paper and then blending out. So I'm going to put that aside. Get my little butterfly here. He's so cute. And let me think. I think I'm going to go with the raspberry ripple again, right here in the middle. And kind of, well, not on his body per se, just kind of outside the body. I didn't practice this ahead of time, so we'll see what happens here. Maybe a little here, there. Okay. I'm going to take my aqua painter and color that in, bringing the color into the wings. Again, if that's darker than I want, I can just take my paper towel, dab that up a bit, use my aqua painter to move the color around some more. And there you can see I have it dark closer toward the body, and it's getting lighter as it gets out to the tip of the wings. Okay, I want a little more color here. Just a little more darkness. There we go. And blend that out. And I don't want any obvious lines, so I'm trying to blend that out of there. Okay. There we go. Then I'm going to take my summer star fruit, and I'm just going to do, taking my really fine tip because this is such a small area, and color that in. Maybe along here as well. Again, I'm not being that careful because I am going to blend that into there. Into the wing. Okay, so I want just a bit more of this, not too much, so I'm just going to go back in. because I just want just a bit more of that summer star fruit to blend into my raspberry ripple. I think those colors look nice when they blend in together like that. There we go. So now I could just stop there. I could let this dry and come back again later to see if there was more that I wanted to do with it. But you get some idea of how to work with the aqua painters, I hope. I hope this was helpful, just giving you a glimpse of what you can do with the aqua painters and the Stampin' Right markers if you haven't done that before. They're a lot of fun. They, like I said, they're very forgiving because it's, you know, you can pick up color once you put it down. So if you make a mistake, it can be corrected. I hope you enjoyed your time with me today. I look forward to being with you again. Again, you can go to my webpage if you want to see the finished projects. As always, thanks for watching.